defaults. We want to make sure we're using the correct microphone. Select OK. I don't know if we could hear myself before, but we should be able to hear myself now. I don't know which one's coming through. It looks like number 2 is coming through, not number 1. So we're going to delete number 1 from our scene. We're using OBS software. I can see myself talking. I can see myself on camera for the other one, so the video should be working. Let's unmute and see if we can hear myself on YouTube now. It looks like number 2 is coming through, not number 1, so we're going to delete them. All right, I can hear myself on YouTube now, so audio seems to be working now. Tater, if you're still here and you can confirm. If you guys missed it, we're drinking Elijah Craig Small Batch, 94 proof, 47% alcohol by volume. I want to say I paid around $35 for this bottle, $40. I've got tables organized here, so this first table is like a budget option with my shot glasses and my water, so we can hydrate in between. Our second ones are mid-tier, which is where we grab this Elijah Craig Small Batch from. Our third tier right here is the mid to high tier, so bottles upwards of $75 to $80 at max. And then we got the high end table in the very back corner. So those are bottles that I paid at $85 and up for. So some of those bottles we paid upwards of $200 for. Just gonna be drinking some different bottles from the collection. Since we got some more stuff in scene, we can make this a little bit bigger. So we're gonna move the wheel up and make this bigger so you guys can see that a little bit better. Make it a little bit smaller so we can still see some of that Texas flag. There we go. All right. Sound is good now. Thank you, Tater. I just realized that audio wasn't working. I should have been able to see the bar on OBS to see if it was working or not. Just hanging out. Who else is in chat? We got one more in chat. We're spinning the wheel to decide what we're going to be drinking next. We got budgets all the way up to high-end bottles. We're just going to be drinking some different pours from our collection. We're almost done with this small batch. Okay, so Elijah Craig Small Batch. Honestly, Texas sweet tea with a little bit of a twist to it. Not to be messed with twisted tea. Very different. Small batch, easy to find here, really good, $35 or less, super easy to find. So I like this bottle. We're gonna set this off to the side as a bottle that we've tried from our collection. We're gonna decide with fate now. So we're gonna bring back up our wheel and we're gonna give it a spin. I think we can just do this real quick so we can make this bigger where you guys can see it. Let's go ahead and give it a spin. Next on the list on what we're gonna be drinking. All right, it's going to be Henry McKenna 10-year. So let's make this smaller again so you guys can still see me. Henry McKenna 10-year. So let's grab that bottle. That bottle is on our mid shelf, I believe. Yeah, here it is. Got plenty of little metal shot glasses. Henry McKenna 10-year bottled in bond. So this bottle, I want to say, goes for about $65 at my local Total Wine when they have it in stock. Now, this bottle is pretty hard to find, and I believe it used to be a lot cheaper. This bottle has very negative reviews and very positive reviews. It's very 50-50. You either like it or you don't. And for the price, it's a 10-year bottled in bond, so I would think that the price for a 10-year bourbon isn't too crazy. It is a little elevated, but to be able to put bottled in bond on this bottle definitely adds to it. They put the barrel number on here. They put when it's bottled, obviously bottled in bond. Hey, Rusty, thanks for joining, Rusty. I'm going to make sure I put you in chat, too. I'm going to try to respond in chat, too, not just being verbalized. Cheers, Rusty. Just doing a little early live stream. We'll see how long we can drag this out for because I have a lot of bottles to be sampling. I don't know if we'll get through all of them, but we're definitely going to be doing a lot of samples from all of these that we're going to be trying. Henry McKenna 10-year bottled in bond, though, $65 here, about $70 after taxes. Very strong, earthy texture that comes through, very peanut forward, but I think this bottle is phenomenal for the price. I think it's a tough bottle to beat around that $70 price tag. It being bottled in bond just really adds to it because I mean the government's supervising this, so this is a long time to have this bottle being watched by the government. But we'll put this one up front so you guys can see that while we try that. Once again, very earthy peanut note. I feel that this one drinks pretty warm, even though it's 100 proof. I really enjoy this one though. So if you guys haven't had Henry McKenna bottled and bond, this is pretty good. It is also Heaven Hill Distillery too. So if you guys didn't know, Heaven Hill does bottle this one. So this is distilled and bottled by Heaven Hill, and that's in Louisville, Kentucky, Bardstown, Kentucky. So pretty awesome bottle. I hear that these kind of have mixed reviews as far as whether you either like it or you really don't. But for me, like this bottle is solid. So this is kind of like that mid to higher tier bottle list that we have on the tables. The $65 for this bottle. I wouldn't pay more than $70 for it. I do see it on people's shelves when they do bourbon hunts for like $75. I think it's hard to press to pay more than $70 for this bottle. I think $65 for me was already pushing it. All right, let's bring that wheel back up. So let's zoom in on that wheel real quick. So let's do this. Bring the wheel back forward. Find out what we're gonna drink next. Spin the wheel. All right, we got Knob Creek 12. So Knob Creek 12 is very awesome in my opinion. Gotta kind of get this back in frame real quick. Hang on. Get this back up here. There we go. So we got Knob Creek 12 next on the list. This bottle, I paid a little bit more than I should have for it, but not that much more. Let me get YouTube back front and center so I can see chat for people. Knob Creek 12. All right, so this bottle, I got this in Mansfield. This was at the Liquor Outpost in Mansfield. They do allocated drops on Fridays. Today's Thursday, so tomorrow I'll probably go see them, but they don't normally get the trucks in until later that afternoon. This Knob Creek 12 at their store, I want to say was like $68. I see this anywhere between $62 and $68 here. You can get this pretty easily and available. I think this one is way better than the 9. I think those 3 years really do make a difference. I think the flavor really comes through. Both Knob Creek 9 and Knob Creek 12, at least the two that I have, are both 100 proofs. It is not bottled in bond though. This is their small batch. We know small batch based on if you've watched my little channel where we talked about the different words and verbiage and facts about whiskey terms. That small batch is just bullshit. It means nothing. Small batch for a big distillery versus a small distillery is two different things. This bottle being $62 to $68, like I haven't bought a backup of it. I still have about half a bottle left on this one. I think this is a fantastic drinker. This is super awesome. Like if you don't have Knob Creek 12, like you should get Knob Creek 12. Like it's that good. Put that one forward so you guys can see it. We're gonna nose it and taste it. Very earthy, like I said, very peanut forward too, just like Knob Creek 9. Like I think that out of the ones that we've had, the Henry McKenna is very similar to this as far as the smell goes. The taste though, the McKenna's a little bit stronger, a little bit harsh. This is a lot more sweet and vanilla and caramel forward. Just super smooth, super flavorful. Awesome bottle. Now this is on my third table, so this is the higher to mid range, so closer to the higher ends. I really don't believe that many people should pay more than $100 for a bottle of whiskey. If you do pay more than $100 for a bottle of whiskey, this should not be it. Like I got a buddy that just moved to Alaska. They have Knob Creek 12 for $109. That is a yikes. Like we're not paying that kind of money for this. Like even secondary price on this bottle, like I can find these at $60, which is cheaper than MSRP for my area. So that kind of talks about this one as far as availability goes. The secondary price is cheaper than MSRP on it. Fantastic drinker though. Knob Creek 12, you don't have this one and you find this in your area, it's under $70. Like this is a buy all day, every day. 100 proof, it's strong enough, it'll come out in cocktails. It's super sweet, super good. Please buy it if you haven't had one of these before. You guys want to stay tuned in chat too and stay active. You guys want to drop some messages in chat, maybe we can do some samples. I've got every bottle on here on this table I'm willing to send samples of, so. All right, let's bring this wheel back forward, front and center. The wheel's back up front. Let's let it decide our fate on what we're drinking next. Ooh, okay. I got scared there. I really thought we were about to get that Old Granddad Bonded, which is actually one of my least favorite pours that I've ever had before. So let's see if we can get this to shrink a little bit because I'm not quite getting it. Where is it at? Hang on, guys. Sorry. We're bugging out here. Hang on. Let me get this in frame. Practice makes perfect, and we haven't practiced, so we're definitely not perfect, but we're getting there. All right, so Old Forester 1910. This one is on our high medium range table. Let's bring YouTube back up so we can see the chat in case anyone else joins us and wants to say anything. Guess all my friends are over here on the live and not at my premiere. I'm so sorry, Adam. I didn't see any notifications major 0. Let me drop this in chat. I'm so sorry. So next on our pour list, we're going to be doing this Old Forester 1910. This is their old fine whiskey. This bottle I actually traded for. We did a video where I had my buddy go out with me. We did a big bourbon hunt in Brandon. He actually picked this bottle up, so this was his, and I was able to get it off of him. 1910 Old Forester. We didn't want this bottle originally. The reason why we picked this up is because we have the 1920 and we want to do a 1910, 1920 build where we kind of do a blend, and that blend kind of turns into that 1915. It's not the same, but it's similar. They don't make the 1915 anymore. This 1910 though, it's not as harsh as the 20 as far as proof goes and the burn that you might get. It's much sweeter, so it's very smooth. It is a $60 bottle, I believe. So it's not the cheapest. It's 93 proof, so 93 proof, we know that on the math on that. We're going to look at the bottle because we're doing quick math on the fly. 46.5% alcohol by volume. This is one of the good bottles, I would say, in the Old Forester lineup. All their bottles are good, but they have good and exceptional bottles. This is one of those exceptional ones. So the 4 ones that we have on our wheel, we have the 1910, we got the 1920, we got the King Ranch, and the Old Forester single barrel strength. So let's drink this 1910 Old Fine Whiskey. Very sweet nose to it. Very vanilla forward, like super vanilla. Like almost like drinking vanilla extract. It's almost painful. Like honestly, we don't care for that to be that strong of a flavor coming forward, but it helps with the blend when you do it with the 1920, but just drinking on its own, like this is definitely very sweet, very buttery, very savory, like a butterscotch candy from your grandmother's purse. So good, but so sweet, very sweet. Also, if you guys can't tell, we're wearing a Whiskey Wisdom shirt. Shout out to Whiskey Wisdom. This is from Matt from Whiskey Wisdom. We didn't have a shirt before, so now we have a shirt to wear, so we can actually join chats on live streams and not be shirtless. We will be wearing the shirt too when we go bourbon hunting. We'll be going bourbon hunting tomorrow, so we'll make sure we get this shirt cleaned up for tomorrow morning. All right, finishing up this 1910 Old Forester. Like, holy cow. So sweet, so savory, so buttery. Vanilla, caramel, butterscotch. A little bit of that charred oak flavor comes forward, but very, very minimal. That is Old Forester 1910 from this list. Set that one on the floor. Let's bring our wheel up for our next pour. What are we going to be drinking next? We'll never know until we spin that wheel. All right, let's bring that wheel forward on my primary. We'll spin it and see what we're drinking next. While we're doing that, I'm going to be drinking some water. Yikes, Old Granddad Bonded. All right, so we're going to remove this one because we forgot to remove the 1910. Whoops. Ignore that second wheel spin. We're drinking Bonded. We're not talking about whatever it lands on next. We're drinking Bonded, so just ignore that. Old Granddad Bonded. I jacked that up. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to double wheel spin. I was seeing if we could click on it so we could take off that 1910 that we forgot to click or move on. Old Granddad Bonded. This was in a series with my buddy Brandon and Dave. So Brandon was my best man for my wedding, and Dave was one of my groomsmen. It's a father and son. Those guys are super awesome. Dave, he said he was willing to sponsor the channel and help reward us and help compensate us monetarily to continue doing these bottle reviews and doing these bourbon hunts. So we'll be reaching out to him for that. Old Granddad Bonded. Bonded means it's going to be 100 proof, 50% alcohol by volume. This is definitely a budget bottle. So this bottle cost under $20. I want to say it was like right there at that $19.99 mark. It's super easy to find in my area. Maybe not for your area. It's not like Adam with like Major Zero trying to find Old Granddad 114 where it like doesn't exist. Like, I'll hold that bottle up because you guys probably can't see it. So all this stuff going on the table. Like this bottle might be hard to find. Hey, Shane Willett, let's type in chat so Shane can make sure Shane can see us. Shane, thank you for tuning in, Shane. We're just hanging out and drinking some alcohol. I have a whole bunch of bottles for my collection. We're just doing little pours of them, little samples of them. We're kind of talking about them as we go. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it through the whole table because we got 4 of them. That's a lot of bottles if I'm going to be sitting here, but we'll do as long as we can for this live stream. Our next bottle up, if you haven't been up to par with us, we're drinking Old Granddad Bonded. This is their high rye mash bill. Very easily accessible bottle for $20. Wow, I didn't like this when we did the Battle of the Budget ones. Like, I had a whole bunch of bottles. We had Very Old Barton was a part of that series. I don't have any of the other budget ones out. In fact, some of those budget bottles, they went home with Brandon and Dave so they can enjoy them. Brandon's currently in California. He's going to be gone for about a month. Whenever he comes back, we will be doing a bottle kill series. And the bottle kill series is going to have a whole bunch of allocated bottles. I think we might do a live stream for that. If not, we're going to do a long video form. That long video form is going to be basically, we're going to set the camera up and forget about it, and we're just going to drink and have fun until we kill all those bottles. And I have like 10 on that list. So we got like a Stag 22A, Weller Special Reserve, we got a 107, we got a Blanton's, we got an Eagle Rare Store Pick, Wild Turkey 101, and an Early Times Bottled and Bond that I can think of off the top of the head that are going to be part of that bottle kill series. But let's shut up and go ahead and try this Old Granddad Bonded and see if we still don't like it. This has had time to aerate and we hadn't revisited it, so we're going to try to give an honest review on it and try not to have this negative intention that we have towards it right now. The nose is like almost non-existent. We're going to try again, but it had a little bit of ethanol smell to it, a little bit of earthiness to it, like from the char oak. Maybe like very subtle nutmeg. We're going to try it though. I can't get in a lot of the nose. We're using little 2-ounce metal shooters. These are I have so many of these. Like, I have a stack of them here. That's why we're using these, because we have a whole bunch of bottles. But I do have Glencairns, so I have 200 Glencairns. So we're going to start with these. Did Major Zero ever find OGD 114? You're going to have to tune in on his channel to find out if he did or not. I told him if he couldn't find it, we would send it to him because we see these on our shelf all day, every day. OGD 114 sits there. All right, so the OGD bonded, like, it's really not that bad. Like, okay, I roasted on this. This was our least favorite. This was Brand's least favorite. This was Dave's least favorite. This is my least favorite for our Battle of the Budgets. It's still not great, but for $20, it's on the shelf. Like, you could use this in cocktails. Lord Rev. So Rusty said, RJ, you got to try Rich and Rare Reserve Gold Cap, not the regular R&R. Cheap and easy drinking. Shane Willett also said, I told him the same. So you offered to send him a bottle of OGD 114 too, because it probably sits where you're at. Hey, Chris Jenkins joining the chat. So cheers, Chris. Every time we lean forward, we're messing with our keyboard. Sorry, guys. This OGD 114, I'm not looking forward to having it spin on the wheel, but this OGD bonded is not terrible, but it's not good. It's all right. It's not crazy though. So we're gonna go ahead and call that one a dud. This was a no for me. All right, so we're 5 samples in. We're gonna bring that board back forward for that wheel. This is our drink of fortune. We're gonna bring that wheel forward on my primary screen so we can see what's going on. You guys can see it, but I can't. Let's spin it. If we do land on Old Forester 1910, we've already had a sample of it, so we will remove it from the group. All right, Old Forester single barrel strength. This is a store pick from Total Wine. This is from our top tier table, so I gotta get up to go get it. That's gonna be our blue label. Let me bring you two back forward before we grab that and pour up a sample. Good evening, IB855. LB855. I am so sorry. I saw that as an I until I started trying to at you to say cheers. LB855, welcome. Canadian Chris, what, having a live stream during Major Zero's dedicated time? I am so sorry, Canadian. I am so sorry to be taking up his time. So the wheel did spin. It did land. We got this bottle, so let me go back over to our wheel real quick so I can try to remember to remove it so we don't roll it again like we will potentially do on the 1910. So bring you two back forward so I can see chat. Just giving some grief. I love the grief. Yep, Major sent us over. Shane Willett. Okay. Thank you guys. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Like, this is a live stream. We're doing Drink of Fortune, so we got the whole collection out. Our collection is arranged by price. So we have our low table. We also have water on this table, and we have shot glasses on this table for our pours. We have a low medium table, we have a low high table, and then we have a high table. So that's just the price points on which we're going for. So next on the list, this is from the high table. This is an $85 bottle before taxes. This is Old Forester single barrel strength store pick from Total Wine. Ugh. These are stuck together. All right, got one off. This guy is hot. This one is 129 proof or 64.5%. This is from the Warehouse J Floor 3. We're going to put this up front so you guys can see that. I'm going to type in chat real quick because we see Jeff Castle, or Castle, however you want to pronounce that. Correct me if you need to, Jeff. Cheers, buddy. Glad that you're here. This is just going to be a live stream. We're going to be ongoing as long as I can stay alive. We're drinking pours, guys. We're getting drunk. This one, I waited at Total Wine for 2 hours in the morning for this bottle. So I wasn't waiting for this bottle specifically. So there's a group of us that were up there. I was number 4 in line. They had 5 bottles that hit. Out of those 5 bottles, Castle, okay, thank you, Jeff Castle. Out of those 5 bottles that hit where I was able to get one of them was Jack Daniel single barrel. Was it Jack Daniel? No, sorry, Jack Daniel twice barreled rye, the 2023 Heritage Collection. I got the release of that bottle, first day of release, for $75. And I was talking about this bottle while we were waiting in line, not knowing what we were waiting for. We were just hoping that the truck had something. They didn't even mention this. This was sitting on a shelf, so we were able to pick this up for $85. So it was just funny that the same day we talk about it, it shows up and we're able to pick one up. So we got a bottle of Old Forester single barrel strength store pick from Total Wine for $85. Fantastic bottle, very high proof, very warm. But man, this thing has an explosion of flavors. So Chris Jenkins can't stay on. If he's already left, chat, that's fine. I just want to say cheers to Chris. Chris Jenkins is a big supporter. He does have his own YouTube channel. So if you guys haven't already, please go like, comment, subscribe on Chris Jenkins' videos. The man seemed very hesitant about starting a channel, and he really needed to. Is there any Total Wines in Florida? I don't know, because when I go to Florida, I typically go to the Tampa Bay area, but they do have liquor in some of their grocery stores, from my understanding. But some of those smaller liquor stores, they have secondary pricing and what I like to call museum pricing, because no one should be paying that for a bottle. So my advice to you is, if you have cash and you're visiting, and I say cash, not debit, not credit, I mean paper money, cash money in hand, and you go into a store and you find a highly allocated bottle, something that you've never seen before that you really want, and you look up and do the research to see how much it's going for, offer them cash money and see if they'll take it. Some of these stores will come down, especially if the owner's there. If the manager's there, they might call the owner to make confirmation before they make a deal with you. Other than that, I would move on from those museum pricing stores. I am not sure, though, if they have a Total Wine. This Old Forester single barrel strength, though, holy cow, this thing is just an explosion of flavors. It's not anything like super overpowering on the sweet note. Like, there is vanilla, there is caramel. Like, if Major Zero is here, he's going to say like all the common whiskey flavors that come forward as far as the nose and the taste. Wow, Russell Reserve 10-year at Walmart for $36. We do have a Russell's Reserve 10-year that's still on the wheel. We'll hold it up for you. This guy, I want to say we paid closer to 40 or 45 for it. So hearing that for $36 at a Walmart. I'm in Texas, so they don't sell liquor at grocery stores. You do have to go to a liquor store to get them. $129 proof. Wow. Out of all the bottles we've had, that's got to be the highest proof that we've had. That's why it hurts. We've had some Stag this morning. Stag was a higher proof than this. Well, one of them is, not both of them that I have. I'll have 3, but I have 2 that are open. It's been a while since we had the Stag, though, so trying to finish off this Old Forester single barrel strength before we spin up the wheel. This is a little bit warm. Separate building. So yeah, that's similar to like Costco. So like Costco here, they can't sell it. They do have a liquor store unaffiliated with Costco, but it's beside Costco. It's kind of like, it's the same building but separate because of law, called WB Liquors. That's kind of how they have to do it as far as the grocery aspect goes for having a liquor store connected to it. All right, got some water. Cleanse the palate. Grab a sample cup. Time to nut up or shut up. We're going to bring the wheel back forward for the Drink O' Fortune. I wish I had music for this, guys. We need to get music for this. I need someone who's better at this than I am so we can make this work. Let me bring the wheel forward from my aspect. You guys can see it, but we're going to bring it forward. Let's spin it up. As long as it doesn't land on 1910, we're going to drink it. 1910, we got to remove it because we already had it. Caribou Crossing, barely touched Caribou Crossing. Okay. So if you look at that, like I didn't think it was going to be on that. I got a phone call. Let me answer this real quick, guys. Excuse me. Getting a call from my insurance company for health insurance. We're not worried about that right now. We're healthy. We're drinking. We're going to get up so we can go get this bottle from our higher end table. This one comes in a box. Got the Caribou Crossing. This one did come with box and bag, so we're going to remove that from our list. Let's bring our YouTube channel back up so I can see you guys talking in chat. Ooh, Buffalo Trace for $23, but out of stock. Like $23 is insane. I paid $24.99 a bottle here at like the best price I can get for it. That's through Specs and Total Wine. So here in 23 is nuts. Caribou Crossing. So this is not a bourbon by any means. This is a whiskey. This is a Canadian whiskey. We have opened this one before. It comes with this little bag. Let me set this down for a second so we can show this off to the camera. So here's our box, Caribou Crossing. This is supposed to be the Canadian Blanton's. Out of the Canadian Blanton's, here's your box. You can throw that aside. We got our bag too for Caribou Crossing. Set this down. So this Caribou Crossing comes in this fancy bottle. Keep the wax. We kept the wax seal so we can kind of show what it looks like when it's sitting on the bottle. Essentially, this is a Rock Hill Farms bottle. We'll hold it up to the camera so you guys can see it. It's got the etched glass and everything, so it's super decorated, super cool. It's super light. It's Canadian whiskey. This one is 40% alcohol or 80 proof. It's got a little wax seal on it. This one was actually cracked when we got it, but it wasn't like because the bottle was open or anything. Our Caribou stoppers. So instead of having our ponies like we do for our Blantons, you can get a Caribou. There is another one. It's a Canadian Leaf. And these Rock Hill Farm bottles are way more expensive than these Caribou Crossings. You can come buy these Caribou Crossings for about $50 MSRP. Rock Hill Farms for $60 MSRP. These sell for about $100 to $120 on secondary, so they're definitely up there in price. Put this back in the bag and everything before we start doing our sample on it. This bottle is kind of hard to come by, but not near as hard as the Rock Hill Farms. But I would never pay the secondary on Rock Hill Farms. SoCal, welcome. And they're always on the shelves for $19. Holy cow. Tater Dom, $19 for Buffalo Trace. That's insane, brother. We pay $25 a bottle minimum here. Stick this bad boy back in the box. Sorry. There we go. Oh, I gotta turn it around because the little box is. Jack that up. I will say that these boxes are not friendly to put these bottles back in. They are meant to be taken out of the box and left out of the box, but we're going to put it back in. Caribou Crossing, we'll set that up front so you guys can see that as we sample that. Let's check up on chat one more time. So Tater Dom, $19 for Buffalo Trace. It is insane. We don't get that kind of deal for sure. Buffalo Trace isn't anything fantastic by any means. So Buffalo Trace is great for cocktails. It's a cheap entry-level bourbon. It's good for giving as a gift for birthday or Christmas. Bring in for the holidays if you just want to have something cheap to pour up for the guys. $30 I think is like the max I would pay for it. I paid more for my first bottle, but now that I can find it on a regular, maybe once or every other month, I can get it easily. We just make sure we have backups of it. I don't want to have to step out of the room, but we do have some big handles of it, the 1.75 liters. I do have some of those. Those run about $50, $55 for the 1.75s. But we're talking about Caribou Crossing. This is Canadian whiskey, also referred to as Canadian Blanton's. It is in a Rock Hill Farms bottle. That bottle is etched with the Caribou Crossing information on it. It does have a Caribou stopper. It is very heavy duty, way heavier than any of the ponies from any of the Blanton's bottles. But this stuff is so light, it tastes like sweet tea to me. I do not think this is anywhere comparable to Blanton's, but it is good. Is $100 good? Probably not. It's just so light. I mean, 80 proof, you can't do anything with 80 proof. That's just not enough. This is so sweet. It goes down super easy. And it's just brutal trying to drink this and like compare this to Blanton's. Like, I know Blanton's isn't no high proof either, but the flavor is definitely more bold as far as a bourbon goes. Obviously, this is not a bourbon. This is a Canadian whiskey, but this is so light. I think it's cool to have. I think it's cool to try if you haven't had it before. Would I pay $100 for another bottle of this? Probably not, especially because I found out the guy that traded for this, I overtraded. I didn't know what this bottle was really worth, but I wanted one. He got this bottle for $50. At $50, I would probably buy it, but understand that if this drinks like green tea to sweet tea. It's so sweet, so easy to put down. I don't even feel like I'm drinking alcohol. I can drink like 50 of these. I can drink a whole bottle in a single day and not even notice that I have any alcohol. Shot glass is empty. That was an easy one. Throwing it back to the back of the throat, you can taste that it had a little bit of age on it. But other than that, nothing too crazy. It is imported by Sazerac Company, so they do put that on there. It says available in limited quantities at select stores. Product of Canada. Wow. Why is that? If you guys didn't know any better, you would already think I'm drunk. Just kidding, we just can't English. Do a little palate cleanse real quick. I'm going to bring the wheel back forward while we're cleaning that palate. Alright, so as long as we don't get 1910, we're going to be pouring it up and doing a sample. 1910, we've already had it, we'll remove it. Redwood Empire Lost Monarch 1. Very, very disappointed on this one. I just got a message saying dinner is ready, but we will be playing this a little bit longer. Redwood Empire Lost Monarch did take it, so let's remove this from the list because I'm not looking forward to trying this one or drinking this one. I just didn't enjoy this one, you know. Buzz talking to drunk talking. Yeah, Rusty. So, Redwood Empire Lost Monarch, like, it says it's a blend of straight whiskeys. I think the reason why I don't enjoy this is that it does come through as a blend. So, on the back, it talks about the blend. It talks about the Giants, it talks about the Monarch. It's aged at least 3 years. It is a straight whiskey. The problem I have with it is, it's a straight whiskey with a rye whiskey, and it is blended. I don't really like ryes. There are some ryes that I do like, but this one is not one of them. And I think the reason why I don't is because of blend. So it's trying to be a bourbon, but it's trying to be a rye. It's somewhere in between. And I feel like if they would have just came up with an agreement where they're like, hey, this is a rye, like that Green Emerald Giant, or hey, this is a bourbon, like our Pipe Dream, we would have accepted it. But it wasn't. Now this one's 3-year age statement. It is 45% alcohol by volume, 90 proof. It is made in Northern California. This is a good whiskey. Some people do enjoy this. Some people say that the Lost Monarch is their favorite of the batch, but I do not like it. That table seems really wobbly. Well, none of these are actually tables. They're all TV trays because we need like an actual studio or lab to actually enjoy these. But that's funny that you point that out, Rusty. Yeah, it is a little wobbly, especially for the amount of money we have sitting on these tables. That's why the expensive ones are in the back. So when you smell this, the nose on this, it does have a rye forward note. It's kind of like bittery. I don't know. We'll taste it. We'll talk about it. This was not my favorite. We'll see if the air on the head, because we drink the neck of it now, might be better. It's sweet but bitter. Bittersweet. I don't know how you want to word it. Over ice in a cocktail, sure. The rye spice does come forward. It's not overpowering, but it's also not a bourbon, or I shouldn't say it's a bourbon because of the blends. I mean, we finished that really quick, but like, honestly, like I don't care for it. If you want to mix it with a cocktail, like go for it. You want to drink this neat? Probably not. You want to drink it over ice? I would probably drink this over ice. Like, it's just not for me. I have some Redwood Empire that I've had before. I've had the Pipe Dream. You saw the Pipe Dream cask strength sitting back there in the back that I do enjoy, but this one was not a favorite. Maybe because it was a blend. All right. Bringing the wheel back forward. Bring the wheel forward for myself so we can see it. We're going to spin it. As long as we don't get Old Forester 1910, we'll drink it. 1910 we've already had. We'll remove it. Very Old Barton. Man, that's a good bottle to get off that shelf because that Very Old Barton is a very big boy and takes up a lot of space on the table. So let's go ahead and remove that one. We're going to be drinking Very Old Barton next. Bring YouTube forward. Very Old Barton. I hear that this comes in two different proofs. It comes in the 86 proof that I have, and it comes in 100 proof. I've only seen the 86 proof. I've only seen the 1.75, so I have not seen the 750s. Now, this is a budget bottle. This is probably as budget as you can get. So we already gave it away to a buddy because they enjoyed it so much. We let them take it home. That Evan Williams Bottled and Bond was a staple for any bar, any new drinker, for the price, $15.99 for a 750. This is $20 for a 1.75, and this is a budget bottle. This one was very dusty. It was sitting there on the shelf. Had to dig it out, pour up a little bit. This bottle for the money is cheaper than $15.99 for a 750 because it's a 1.75. This one is fantastic, I think, for mixing your drinks. I think it's very peanutty, not peanut butter, but peanut. Big, hefty bottle of it. Very easy to drink. Very, very, very forward as far as the nose. VOB just didn't agree with me. I don't know what the VOB just didn't agree with me. I don't know what VOB is. You'll have to probably... Very Old Barton didn't agree with you? Yeah, well... Very Old Barton is a budget bourbon, so maybe that's why. I had to think about VOB, like, what are you talking about as I'm talking about the bottle? This Very Old Barton, it's super cheap. It's not expensive at all. It's inexpensive. You can get it. You can mix with it. I don't know what I'd make with it. I don't know what I drink with it. I've only had it neat, and I think it tastes fantastic for the price. It's very earthy, very nutmeg, very like woody, oak wood forward, very peanut, not peanut butter, but peanut forward, vanilla. A little bit of caramel. Like, this is just super sweet, easy to drink. I like it. Rusty says it didn't agree with him, but Very Old Barton. pretty darn good, in my opinion. That was just a quick sample. We didn't have a whole lot in that one. Let's bring the wheel back forward and see what we can get. I don't know if we can make it through all of these. There's so many more left, but we're gonna try our damnedest. All right, Bellamide Sour Mash. So we're gonna remove that. Bring this back into frame. I'm gonna bring YouTube forward so I can check chat in case you guys react to that. Our Bellamide is sitting on the same table as our reserve. So we'll talk about both. I'll bring it forward so you guys can see it. So Bellamide, we picked this one up first. This was at Total Wine. I want to say it was $43 to $47 for this bottle. We didn't see the reserve at our first Total Wine, but the other Total Wine we went to, this is normally a $70 bottle. They had it on sale for $40, so this is a no-brainer to pick up the reserve. But we're talking about the Sour Mash, but we're going to talk about both. These have both been discontinued. They do not make these anymore. So if you see these and they're a reasonable price, pick them up. And I say reasonable price, I would say the white label under 40, black label under 55 maybe. They still make these, just not the same branding. So they're both owned by Nelson Bros, and they no longer use the Bellamide with the horse logo on the front. That being said, we're going to put the Bellamide Reserve up, which is a 108.3 proof. We are talking about the Sour Mash, which is a 45.2% alcohol or 90.4 proof. Let's go ahead and get another shot glass ready. Crack this one open. Ugh. Now, in the transition of Nelson Bros taking over, they still continue to use the Bellamide branding on it, but the label that actually goes over the topper still says Nelson Bros on it, so that's how you know it's Nelson Bros. We'll set that forward so you guys can see that. A little bit more about it. Jeff Cassis says he likes the 100 proof version of the Very Old Barton. I haven't had the 100 proof version of Very Old Barton. Talk about that one to really have an explanation as far as what I prefer. Moving on to this Bellamide Sour Mash. Sour Mash, like whiskeys, are 50-50 with me. I've had like a New Riff Sour Mash where I thought it was very bitter, but with ice and dilution, it was sweet and fine. This one is decent. I wouldn't drink this one neat, but we're going to for the sake of content. It is not preferred by any means, though. It has a fruit-forward nose, like a Granny Smith apple, the green apples. It has an ethanol burn, but it's nothing too major on the tongue. It's very mild, but very fruity, like apple, sweet, bitterness. Would I recommend you picking this up? Like to drink? Probably not. Collection purposes, because they don't make this label anymore? Probably. Sour Mash is like 50-50, like I said. This one is on the more positive side of the Sour Mash because it's more mellow. But this one, I picked this up because I didn't see the reserve label at the first store I went to. That I did find the reserve, so obviously I bought it. I like the reserve over the Sour Mash, so if you pick only one, the Sour Mash or the reserve is 108.3 proof. This is only 90.4 proof. Like, take the higher proof, man. Like, this is just not it. This is good. It's just not that good. So for this one, I'm out. No Bellamide Reserve for me anymore. Sour Mash for me anymore. Whew. I'm going to drink some water, bring our wheel forward, spin the wheel and see what we get next. Double oaked store pick of Nulu. I didn't remove it from the wheel. I don't know why. I'm an idiot, but that's okay. That's 2 that we'll have to remove later. I only closed so fast because, you know, we thought we were that close to picking that OGD 114 up for Adam, but we didn't. This Nulu store pick double oak, I'm going to have to stand up to grab. It's too far away for me to reach. This bottle, oh my goodness. So let's talk about it. Nulu double oaked store pick. This bottle we've used for our Battle of the Blinds. Now, this is not a blind that's definitely anything close to our budgets. The Battle of the Blinds, the budget fight that we did, this bottle was the combined price of all of our budget bourbons. This bad boy cost us $105. It is 116.4 proof. It is a store pick. It is double oaked. Is it better than Woodford Reserve double oaked? Probably not when you factor in price. It is the most unique flavored I've ever had though as far as a whiskey goes. So if you haven't had a Nulu bottle, which I heard so many things about it and I hadn't tried one before, I was like, man, let me get one. This was it. I got the Nulu, I got the double oak. Let's try it. Is it any good? Probably not, but we'll try it anyways because it's for the sake of content. It's very sweet. It is very oaky. When you say double oak, I expect a lot of oak notes that come forward in it because of the way they age it, but it really wasn't like that. For $105 though, is it any good? Yes. Is it $105 good? Probably not. Nulu double oaked bourbon. Vanilla, caramel, oak, medicinal cherry. All those notes come very pronounced, very bold on the immediate tongue. The finish, I mean, when you sip this, it lingers, it stays there. Like the flavor is there. It doesn't disappear, it stays there. East Coast LQ Reviews, thank you. I have never seen you in chat before. We'll go ahead and message you in chat here too. Thank you for joining in on the live stream. The concept of this video, while you're here, as you can see, it says RJ the Fed Drink of Fortune. We got a Wheel of Fortune wheel basically up there. We're spinning wheels. We've got bottles sitting on tables. These tables are ranked based on price point. We have a budget option table with the exception of the one we have up front, which is what we're currently drinking. We got shot glasses to pour up the next ones. We got water to rehydrate. We got a low to like mid-tier budget. We got a medium to high-tier budget, and then we have a high-tier budget table. We spin the wheel and let it decide on what we get to drink. So East Coast LQ Reviews, cheers, brother. Right now we're experiencing this Nulu double oaked. Some of the bottles we've tried, we've already moved down to the floor. So if you are looking for a specific bottle, feel free to rewind and see if maybe we've talked about it in the past. Couple bottles to recommend that we do have down here. We do have the Knob Creek 9 and 12. The 9 is still on the table, 12 has been sampled. We got Elijah Craig, we got Caribou Crossing. We got an Old Forester Single Barrel Strength and Old Forester 1910. We got a Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. We got a Henry McKenna 10-year. We got a Bella Mead Sour Mash and a very old Barton down there. So right now we're working on this Nulu double oaked. Once again, the smell, it's not too prominent. The taste though is very earthy, very double oaked, very medicinal cherry, vanilla, caramel. It is the most unique bottle in my collection, I will say, as far as a store pick. Like, there's so many flavors that come out during this. Check my phone real quick. We got a message from the wife. Probably sending us a picture of the dinner she's currently enjoying because we haven't touched our dinner. Oh no, she sent us a meme. This is a meme that I thought was very hilarious. It is a giraffe painting a picture of a lion from the giraffe's perspective. So the giraffe is looking down on top of the lion, so the lion mane, that's the front of the body, looks like a ball sack that is hairy, and the length of the lion to the tail looks like the shaft to the penis. So it is a very penis humory joke. So cheers, boys, if you guys like that kind of immature humor. This one was a funny one. I wish I could put it on video. I'll click on it on my phone and I'll see if I can get it zoomed in so you guys can see it. Because I do think it is hilarious. So once again, it's a giraffe painting a picture of a lion from the giraffe's perspective. Very haha funny. Hope you guys like that one. Very crude humor. We love it. Finishing up this newly double oaked, fantastic drinker. $105, good, probably not, but it's in my collection. I'm more than willing to send samples if you guys haven't had any Nulu before. This is my first experience with Nulu. I do think it's good, but for the price, I think there's better. Kill off that Nulu double oaked, moving this bad boy to the floor as a completed bottle. All right, let's bring the wheel back forward, guys. Wheel is front and center. Spinning the wheel, let's see what we get next for our next pour. We got a couple that we'll have to remove that we didn't remove before. Balcones Lineage. So yes, I understand the video hasn't come out for this, for the review on this one, so we will be a little hush-hush secrecy about this bottle. But because we're on a live feed, no one's really tuned in, we don't mind talking about it. We picked this bottle to put on the table for a reason, because I thought it'd be fun. So anybody in chat that knows me, we got a Texas flag in the background. This is a Texas-made whiskey. This is their lineage version. I was able to purchase this bottle with two 50 milliliter bottles and two other bottles of Balcones. One being the single malt and the second one being the red bottle, which is the pot still version. Both were aged only for up to 2 years or longer for the age statement. This is a 3-year age statement at the minimum. So this has an extra year on those two. Not only did it come with those two 50 milliliter bottles, it also came with a Glencairn. So not only do we have one Bruzel Glencairn, two my uncle's restaurant, AJ's on Main Glencairn, now we have a third one of Balcones. This is the Balcones Lineage bottle. This is a $37 bottle in my area. I paid $37 for this bottle plus the two 50 milliliter bottles and a Glencairn. So it was a no-brainer to buy this Lineage box that came with this bottle, the two sample bottles, and a Glencairn for the same price that I could get the single bottle for. Jeff Castle said I would like to have all three of the Redwood Empire cash strength bottles. I have three regular ones, the Grizzly and Rocket Top. So when you say all three of the Redwood Empire cash strength bottles, there's actually more than three of the cash strength. So from my understanding, there's the Lost Monarch, which is the blue label. There's the Redwood Empire Pipe Dream, which is the red label, which I've had that one. I can't show it because I finished it off. And they have the green one, which is the Emerald Giant. Those are the three of the Redwood Empires that I see that are not cash strength. And then when you go to cash strength, now we have this limited release. So we do have Emerald Giant, once again, we have Pipe Dream, we have the Lost Monarch. Those are the three cash strengths of the original three, but then we also have the Rocket Top, like you had said in chat, and the Grizzly. The Grizzly Beast one is the red label with a Grizzly on it. That's the one we're looking for. We don't see it here. If we do, it's probably gonna be around a $90 mark. But I do believe that they have more cash strength bottles available than they do the regular editions. So from the bottles I've seen and I've seen reviews on, I would say that there's three of the normal bottles and five at the minimum for their limited releases for the cash strength, a total of 8 bottles from Redwood Empire. Them being from Northern California, definitely unique. Northern California, I wouldn't expect a whole lot as far as whiskey goes, but from what I've had, I really do like the Pipe Dream. I think it's very sweet. The cask strength, we haven't hit it yet, but that one is warm, but still has the flavor profile of the normal Pipe Dream, but at a higher proof, which is very interesting. So I would be excited to see the Grizzly Beast one for myself. That being said, though, we are talking about balcones now. We are in Texas. I have the cowboy hat to prove it. I have the Texas flag to prove it. I have the bottle of balcones lineage to prove it. 3-year age statement, 47% alcohol by volume. This is a lower alcohol percentage of the Balcone series. I liked all the balcones that I have tried. I haven't tried all the balcones, but I've tried a decent amount. This one is very sweet, but the age statement definitely comes through. 3 years versus 2 years, there's definitely a difference when you try the other two. I didn't put them on the wheel to spin because I only have 50 milliliter bottles. We'll add the 50 mils to our bottle kill video, which we might do a live stream. We might do just a random video where we finish those off. I wanted to keep those so my buddies could try them. I did have a buddy come over yesterday. He was able to try them. He did enjoy them. He did say the lineage was very similar to the single malt. It was just that extra year that the age statement changed, and there was a lot that changed in the flavor profile for that 1 year. Balcone's lineage, though, on the nose, very sweet, very corn forward. Now, Texas whiskey cannot really be aged very long. When it comes to being aged in Texas, we talk about summer. Summer gets to be above 100 degrees for 30 straight days. That being said, the wear and tear on a barrel of bourbon in a rick house, I don't think you can withstand much more than that. As far as having an angel share, which is the part that basically evaporates during the aging process. So I find that your most aged stated Texas whiskey is about 4 years. Most of them, the sweet spot, even for like Garrison Brothers, is 2 to 3 years. 3-year age statement balcones. This is very corn forward. It's very sweet, very buttery, very smooth. Let's taste it. Once again, very corn flavored, very buttery, savory flavored, very light, very good. It has a little bit of that charred oak flavor that comes, but for the most part, it's very corn forward, very buttery corn forward. Wow. Like, Texas whiskey is not a positive for me. If I had to drink Texas whiskey, Balcones is definitely up there. Now, if you didn't know, Balcones is made in Waco, Texas, which is about an hour and a half south of me. We've never done a distillery ever before, even in video versus not video. I've only done breweries as far as visiting, so I would love to go to a distillery. I think Balcones might be our first that we go to. Oh, that's the lineage. Cleanse that palate before we move to the next one. Let's go to our drink of fortune. Let's give this bad boy a spin, see what we land on. If it's something we've already had, we'll remove it because we forgot to earlier. If not, we'll try it. Yikes! The Stag 22B. Alright, Stag 22B. Let's bring YouTube forward. Let's bring this down in size. Let's see if Adam from Major Zero is still here. He is. We're going to go ahead and shout out Major Zero Adam and say Stag 22B time. That is on our most expensive counter, our most expensive table, so we're going to grab that bottle. Stag 22B. We'll bring it forward. The reason why we don't have 22A out is because we're so close to a bottle kill that if we drink any more of the 22A, we're going to be out of it. But we have lots of 22B, and we need to drink some of it. Now, Stag. How much does it cost? How much should it cost? How much does it cost? $58 MSRP for this bottle. Have I ever seen one from MSRP? Absolutely not. Have we had a trade for all 3 bottles that we own? Absolutely. This bottle of Stag 22B, we traded a Jack Daniel's twice-barreled Heritage Rye for this one. We opened this one almost immediately because we wanted to try it. One of the guys that traded us this bottle is a subscriber, so we're not going to talk crap. This bottle was unique, though. It had a piece of the cork floating in the bottle, very unorthodox. We had to filter it through like a paper filter to get the cork out and then re-put it into this bottle. So this bottle has been filtered by myself. It was sealed though. I don't blame the seller. This is 65% alcohol or 130 proof. This is a high proofer Stag. This is batch 22B. I traded a Jack Daniel's twice-barreled Rye Heritage Edition that I paid $90 for to trade for this. So I did pay a premium if you talk about MSRP versus my trade value and what I spent on this, but I had to have it. 22A is phenomenal. That's why we have none of it left. I'll hold that one up on camera too, so you guys can see that. 22A has like nothing left. It's almost empty. Versus our 22B is damn near full. Now, 130 proof whiskey. It's very hot. It's not as smooth. I wish it was better, but it's not. 22A versus 22B, 22A wins every time, 100%, even in a blind. 22B, it's still Stag. Stag is still good. It's still high proof, but it's not my favorite. Trading for this bottle, was it worth it? Absolutely, in my opinion. Would I do it again? If I had the option for 22A or 22B, I would trade for 22A all day, every day. I only own 3 bottles of Stag. Some of you guys might think otherwise. I have 22B, which I have a lot of. I have 22A, which I have very little of. And I do have a batch 18 that is sealed. The bottle that I broke, you guys will hopefully see on Whiskey Wisdom's channel whenever we do the villains of the whiskey tube. I did have a second bottle of 22A that we did finish, so that's not my first, that's my second bottle of 22A that we've almost polished off, and we were willing to break a bottle of it for the sake of content. 22B will be the next on the list, and we might do some more bottle shattering. YouTube's not really friendly about firearms, but we do have the intentions of shooting and blowing up a bottle. We want to see the explosion of glass. We had to use a shot vac. It took a time to clean up the 22A bottle that I shattered, but I think it'd be hilarious to just completely obliterate a bottle of Stag. But we want to make sure it's not full because that'd be a waste of whiskey when we cry over spilt alcohol, but very, very, very funny. 22B. The taste. You see it on my face. It's bitter, it's very oaked. It has cherry notes, it has vanilla notes, but man, it's harsh. It's not 22A. It's good, it's Stag, but it's not 22A. This hurts. I hate to talk crap about this bottle. I really do. It's Stag. Like, why would you talk crap about Stag? How much does this bottle cost? How much are people trading for this? Like, secondary market, $200+ value. MSRP $58.99 or something like that. I've never seen this for MSRP. I've only traded for Stag. Like, the cheapest trade I've done for Stag was $75 for a single bottle because I had a Baumburgers that I bought and I traded, and then I had another Jack Daniel's twice barreled rye that I traded for it, and then another Heritage that I traded for this one. Holy crap, though! Like, 22B is not near as good as 22A. If you can only get one stag and you had the option between 22A and 22B and you were paying $200, buy 22A. 22B is not worth it. Please do not buy this bottle for $200. If you trade for this, if you already have 22A and you want to compare it to something, 22B is not it. Please do not do this. But enough about 22B. It is stag. It is good. It was a very expensive bottle. I love it, but it's not 22A. I'm setting it on the floor. Whew. All that off the chest. Okay. Whew. Goodness. All right. Let's bring the wheel forward for the drink of fortune. And we shall spin the drink of fortune wheel. Next sample, next sample, next sample. Knob Creek 9. Okay, perfect. Bring YouTube forward. Bring this down to size. Do a shot glass. Grab our Knob Creek 9. So, just like the 12, the 9 is 100 proof. Difference is obviously 9 versus 12 is a 3-year age statement. 9, I would say you could find it anywhere, everywhere, all day, every day. Doesn't matter what the day of the week is. Even if the liquor store's closed, it's still sitting there. This doesn't go anywhere. This is always there on the shelf. Under $30, or right at $30, I would say. Knob Creek 9. Very earthy, very peanut, very nutty, very nutmeg, oak, vanilla caramel forward. On the taste, also the same. The 12 is better, 100%, because the flavor comes through on the 9 as more proof forward. The 12 is more sweet forward. The 9 is fantastic. It is very good. I think this would make an excellent mixer if you had to drink only one bottle of whiskey for the rest of your life and it had to be something that you drank neat and you couldn't find highly allocated bottles, but you could find everyday drinkers on the shelf. Knob Creek 9, absolutely fantastic. Buy this all day, every day. This is good. It is not bad. It is just not preferred. Now, when I say not preferred does not mean it's not good. This is fantastic whiskey. I would buy this all day, every day, especially if I had no whiskey and I could only buy one bottle. I would compare this to Wild Turkey 101. 1 proof point difference, 9-year age statement on the 9. Wild Turkey 101, price point's about the same. Wow, this is just fantastic. Okay, so let's talk about it a little bit. So Knob Creek 9 at 100 proof, you could use this in cocktails, you can drink this over ice, you can drink this neat. You can mix this with foods, ice cream, however you want, dessert. This is very forward on the alcohol nose. There is an ethanol smell and taste to it, but it is not overpowering or overbearing. I do enjoy this. Knob Creek 9, fantastic drinker, great price. All right, at this point through the live stream, we only got 7 watching currently. We're 80 minutes in. If you guys are in chat, please, if you're listening in chat, active listening in chat, comment what you guys want to see next, and we will ignore the wheel and jump straight to that bottle. We have on the cheap shelf OGD 114, Major Zero's Enemy, Ancient Age, Benchmark Small Batch, Benchmark Single Barrel on the cheap shelf. On the low to medium shelf, we have Bowman Brothers, Russell's 10 Reserve, and Smoke Wagon, Red, White, and Blue. Move into the medium to high end shelf, we have a 1 Foot Cock single barrel bottled in bond rye, a Bellamy Reserve bourbon, and a Old Forester King Ranch edition. Moving to the expensive lineup, we have Old Forester 1920, Redwood Empire Cash Strength, and Booker's Charlie's Batch. Honestly, that King Ranch needs to be on that expensive table because I paid more for the King Ranch than I did the 1920. I don't know why I jacked it up. So the 15-year for Jeff Castle, I don't really see the Knob Creek 15. Well, I got Matt from Whiskey Wisdom calling. Let's answer him. Hey, Matt from Whiskey Wisdom. What's going on, brother? We're actually doing a live stream right now, so you are on the live stream. No, you're fine. They can't even hear you. We're just doing a live stream through OBS. We're just doing a live stream. We're drinking. I have bottles range from cheap to expensive, and we're trying to drink every bottle in our collection that we're willing to spin on a wheel. Yeah, because we're already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pours in. I absolutely will. I'm currently wearing your Whiskey Wisdom shirt on the live stream. We got Tater Dom, Canadian Chris, Jeff Castle. We got Rusty from Lord Rev on the stream right now, but I will call you back soon. Bye, Matt. So Matt was not expecting us to be on the live stream, guys, but we are definitely drinking alcohol and we're on the live stream. Oh, you could hear him. Okay, that's funny. Well, he kept himself reserved, but okay. Maybe we cut the live stream soon so we can talk to Matt from Whiskey Wisdom because he might actually have some important stuff to say, especially since we have a shirt on. But we'll do one more for you guys. Bring the wheel forward. Let the wheel of judgment decide our fate. Spin it up. This will be our last pour of the evening. Booker's Charlie Batch. Great way to go out. This is an expensive whiskey. It costs money. We like when we spend money for the end of the video or the live stream. So, let's grab that bottle. We got the Bookers. Ugh. Plastic sleeve, throw it to the side. A little card, Charlie's Batch, throw it to the side. Grab the bottle out. We got the box, throw it to the side. High proof. This is it. All right, guys. Matt from Whiskey Wisdom, you could hear him. That's hilarious. I love you guys. All right, so 63.3% alcohol, 126.6 proof. Our Old Forester single barrel strength beat this, but this is a high proofer. This is a Jim Beam product. This is the top of the line from Jim Beam products. That being said, we do have a review of this bottle. We tried this at our uncle's restaurant first. We came home, we did a sample of it to where we can do a review on it. But we're gonna do this on the live stream. This bottle, the price I paid was $110 before taxes. Woo! Earthy, nutty, very oak forward, very hot, very ethanol burning. If you haven't had this before, this will scare you. This bottle, I tried this before, straight, neat, didn't like it. Let me rephrase that. I liked it, but it was so hot that it was unenjoyable. A vendor liked it, but they had to add ice to it. The owner and his daughter had to add ice to it and let it dilute before they even touched it. This is a fantastic bottle, but for the proof, you're gonna have to mix it. You're gonna have to water it down, proof it down however you like it. You want crushed ice, you want cubed ice, you want whiskey stones. That's your preference. You want cocktail, do it. Drink it neat, probably not. RG the Fed, I'm going to sign out so we can call back Matt from Whiskey Wisdom. We're wearing his shirt, so we're going to support, represent. We're going to call him back, talk to him. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. I know this was just an hour and a half long video, and there wasn't a whole lot of you guys that tuned in, but I hope you guys love this. Canadian Chris said, I just bought it for $140 Canadian. Promised my wife I wouldn't open it till Christmas. This, if you're talking about this bottle of Booker's, like, I don't want you to downplay this based off of what I've talked about. Just understand that this drinks as one of the best Booker's batches that have released in the future. This is better than the Apprentice batch by all means. This is better than the 2023-03 batch. I can't remember what it's called. This is a fantastic batch for Charlie's batch. If you have this one and you're waiting till Christmas to open it, it is high proof though, but the flavor is very muted because of the proof. Drink this in a cocktail or ice it down, especially if you're going to drink this with your wife. This is a fantastic bottle, but please dilute it. I don't think it's good just off the nose, off the neat flavor profile. Canadian Chris, this is for you, brother. Charlie's batch 2023. I've only had this opened up for a month. It had time to aerate. It is very harsh. I love it, but it's not what I would drink neat. I'll catch you guys next time. This is RG the Fed signing out from this live stream. We were doing a Bourbon of Fortune wheel where we try bourbons we've never had before or bourbons we have had before that are in our collection on the wheel. And this was fantastic. Love you guys. See you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have bottles you want to see me pick up for the near future, we will be bourbon hunting. Please drop those in the comments and we will look for them. We will buy them. High West and Tin Cup are 2 bottles that are on our list and we will be buying them in the near future. And I will see you guys next time.